Hi. Once a boy named Robert was walking home from school when all of a sudden he got his foot stuck. He pulled and yanked and twisted, but he couldn't get his foot unstuck. So his big sister came back to him and said, "Robert, come on, we've got to get home." He said, "I'd like to, but my foot's stuck." She said, "Robert, I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm smarter than you. I'll get your stupid foot unstuck. Just promise me one thing. Don't get scared, it's so babyish." And Robert said, "I'm not scared." So the big sister took Robert's foot and started yanking. She pulled up his pants and grabbed his knee and twisted and yanked and but she came back and said, "Robert, I can't get your stupid foot unstuck. Just promise me one thing. Don't get scared." And Robert said, "I'm not scared." Just then a big kid came by. He was an 8th grader. He said, "You better get home, kids. Your mom's looking for you." Robert said, "I'd like to, but my foot's stuck." The big kid said, "Look, Robert, I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm smarter than you, I'm bigger than your sister, I'm stronger than your sister, I'm smarter than your sister. I'll get your stupid foot unstuck. Just promise me one thing. Don't get scared." And Robert said, "I'm not scared." So the big kid said, "Here's what we'll do. I got a pocket full of bubble gum here. We'll have you chew the bubble gum. You blow a big bubble. I heard that there's on the weather report there that there's a big wind coming up. It'll blow the bubble. It'll blow your foot free." Well, Robert kind of thought that was a crazy idea, but he decided to give it a try. And the big kid said, "Here." And Robert had the bubble gum all nice and flat and soft and ready to blow. So he took a big breath. And the big kid said, "Wait a minute. Let's put in 2 pieces of gum." Robert said, "There's no room. My mouth is full. There's no more room." Big kid said, "Yep, put in 2 pieces of gum." So he stuffed another piece in. Why, yeah. Robert's mouth was completely full. So he got all set to blow. When the big kid said, "Wait a minute. Let's put in 3 down." Robert said, "There's no room. I can't get me." Big kid said, "Yeah, put in 3 down." So Robert started blowing a bubble, and it was pretty good. It was round and firm, looked pretty good. Big kid said, "Blow it a little bigger." Ho ho! Make it a little bigger. Oh, here. Oh. Just then a big wind blew up and started blowing that bubble. Started blowing Robert, but his foot was still stuck. He had to let it go, and finally the bubble flew out of his mouth and flew across the lake to the other side. On the other side of the lake, a proud mom was walking her little baby in a baby carriage. And all of a sudden, the baby looked up at the sky and said, "Okay, Woody." And the proud mama said, "Ah, My baby is looking at something in the sky. Maybe it's a bird flying by, or a single cloud, or perhaps a leaf falling down from a tree. I think I'll look too. Ah! 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 Yeah! Ah! And the headline read, Mother gummed from gum from the sky. And so back over on this side, the big kid said, well, I'm all out of bubble gum, kid. I can't get your stupid foot unstuck. Just promise me one thing. Don't get scared. And Robert said, I'm not scared. Well, just then, a tow truck driver drove by who they both knew. And they said, hey, Robert, you better get home. Your mother's looking for you. And Robert said, I'd like to, but my foot's stuck. Big tow truck driver got out of the truck and said, look, Robert, I'm bigger than you. I'm smarter than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm bigger than this big kid here. I'm stronger than this big kid here. I'm smarter than this big kid. I'm bigger than your sister. I'm stronger than your sister. I'm smarter than your sister. Plus, I got me Betsy the tow truck here. Here's what we're going to do, kid. We'll hook you up to the tow truck. I'll pull back on the winch. I'll put it in low gear and drive forward. We'll pull your foot free in no time. Well, Robert said, okay, if you think that's a good idea. So he hooked Robert up to the tow truck. And at the same time, he started driving forward and lifting the winch up. And the back wheels started twisting and turning. And all this smoke and dust and smoke was pouring up in Robert's face. But his foot stayed stuck. And all of a sudden, Betsy the tow truck stalled out. And the tow truck driver got out and he looked at the big kid and went. And the big kid looked back at the tow truck driver and went. And they both looked over at the big sister and she also went. And so all three of them leaned in real close and said, Robert, we think it's time you got stuck. I mean, you got scared now. Not stuck, scared. And Robert started getting scared. I mean, if the big kid and his big sister and the tow truck driver with the truck couldn't get him loose, maybe he'd always be stuck. And he got so scared the corners of his mouth curved down. And he got so scared, big tears started dropping down his face. And he got so scared, his fist balled up and he started shaking his fist. And he got so scared, his whole body started twisting and shaking. And he got so scared, he started stomping his feet. And when he was stomping his feet, he realized his foot wasn't stuck anymore. And the tow truck driver and the big kid and the big sister, they all leaned in and they said, you see, Robert, we told you didn't have to get scared. But down deep inside, and here's the moral of the story, Robert knew that as you go through life, sometimes the best thing you can do is to just get scared. And if you want to read this story, pick up Matt Goslin's book, Stuck. Thanks, folks. Bye now.